Special bonus edition of the Pepe Podcast, where I can finally now say the PWHL is in an expansion era. What? Is that the second time you've quoted Taylor Swift on your show? Yeah. How can we work the fate of Ophelia into the PWHL? Yeah, so it's officially happened. You know, our two new teams in Seattle, Vancouver have arrived, and it just feels so incredible to say that in year 3 we got expansion. Because I remember in that inaugural season saying to these two how I don't see expansion happening for at least 5 to 7 years. No, you were very much at the time kind of felt like, right, it's a brand new league, we've literally just got started, let's get this league running, let's make the inaugural 16 viable, and then we can look at expansion. Yeah. Here we are now. 2 seasons on from that, and we've got 2 new teams, and there's no signs of slowing down, which is really good. Exactly, because obviously we know the PHL is very, very keen for another wave, or round, what we will call it, of expansion in the not too distant future. It could be as soon as next year. It could be in 2 years or 3 years down the line. We do not know. It could be 2 teams. It could be 4 teams in the next round. We just do not know. But the thing what we do know is this league right now is very, very aggressive when it comes to expansion. And I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. If the markets are there, which they are, if the talent's there, which it is, and if the interest of the fan base is there, which it certainly is, then why not just go for it? Yeah. We may as well just expand now while we've got so much, you know, potential. There's so many markets on offer, rather than wait 10 or 50 years where the markets might then be saturated a bit. Yeah. With the growing phases, you might as well just go for it. So yeah, so opening night of year 3, of course, was a big one. Not just for us 3, because obviously we had our second banner raised ceremony, which was a bit lackluster than the first one. We also had to say after that we had the first ever game between these two sides in Pacific Coliseum, and oh, did that look so stunning. Yeah. I mean, the amount of work that has gone in to transform the Pacific Coliseum back into a state-of-the-art building is absolutely brilliant, and the fact that this is now just the blueprint for what we want future teams to look like. I mean, the Goldeneyes are going to be the first ever team to have their own building. They're going to be the primary tenants of a building. They get to have that logo on sales. I know you were just... I mean, they kept... Before I tried to warn you, do not stare at that to directly. Yeah, we're kind of like, eyes up here, not down there, love. I know, and you do want to do an episode on Sarah Eyes logos, which we will do. I'm not, you will abstain from that. They're going to be have a practice facility not too far by. I mean, it's just amazing, yeah. And the word that's going into that is just yeah, because you've got to remember that Pacific Coliseum was originally designed to bring the AHL to Vancouver. And that was back in the 70s, 1970s, when the Canucks entered the NHL. So you're looking more at the 60s. We've got to go back to that. We've got to go back to when you two York Kings were joining the league. We've got to go back to the 60s. Oh my god. We've got to go back. Right, but it's a very old building, yeah. And yet they've managed to transform this into a state-of-the-art facility that could operate women's pro hockey on a night-in-night basis. It's brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of arenas in America in these days, when they're not being used, they're just kind of left there, they're left uninhabited. It's all like a great eyesore sticking out. So the fact that Boca has managed to reimagine this building, repurpose it, is absolutely brilliant. And the pre-game ceremony with the Oh, the blue lighting, that was brilliant. To have the lighting system in the Goldeneyes colours, that is just amazing. And I think there's so much potential the Goldeneyes have got for pre-game festivities, because they've got their own, because this is theirs. They are the pride tenants of this building. No one else is going in there. So it's just, yeah, to see the lighting was just absolutely brilliant. And brilliant. But the Sarah, I know, right? I mean, we all three of us agree that the Goldeneyes got the best branding of the two new teams. Yes. Yeah, yes. I won't go far to the whole league, yeah, because I've been bit to could roll that, yeah. Well, the two expansions here. And it's just not, and to see the graphics, now the graphics, it's just incredible. Every time I see the Goldeneyes logo on the graphics, I think, that is so menacing. That is like so menacing. It's like brilliant. Seattle's, I'm still need some time to get used to, yeah, but I just look at the Goldeneyes one, I think that is just so menacing. Imagine what that's going to look like on the jersey next year. Alright, imagine what that's going to look like on the jersey next year. That's going to be like just, that's going to be brilliant. Yeah, that's going to be so brilliant to have that on the jerseys this time next year. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's the seeing all the steroids. Like, why can't we have the logos on all the steroids all the time? I know, right? And you got to think about how the Coyotes managed to do it with Mullet Arena. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but at least managed it. Yeah. Because you're right, Bill. I mean, a lot of these arenas, they are multi-purpose arenas. They are designed to host various different sporting and non-sporting events. And they managed to transport those about very quickly. So why can't we just have the logos on Sarah Ice? I know. Just like... but it's so gorgeous. I just think it's brilliant. Do you know what? We learned something, didn't we, about Sarah Ice? Like, yeah. So we knew that the Goldeneyes were going to be the first PHL team to have their logo on Sarah Ice. What we didn't know, and this was being announced over the PA system, that the Goldeneyes are the first women's pro hockey team to have their logo on centre ice. Wow. I know, right? Who says the PHL is not educational? Who says the PHL is not educational? Yeah, it's just... It's brilliant. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, and what a great way to kick off the two new teams. Yeah. Make them go head to head. Which, of course, we already had in the pre-season, right? Yeah. But of course, with the pre-season videos closed off to the public, both locally and globally. Yeah. So, this is going to be the first opportunity we're going to have to see these two sides in action. Yeah. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you could have picked a better matchup to kick it off. I mean, I feel like the scheduling for these two teams, their first games each, has gone down really well. I mean, you have the two teams go head to head Vancouver. And did sort of Seattle fans travel a bus? They did. Yep. The Torrent got a bus. They got at least 100 fans on it. Might have been more. It was at least 100, I recall. Yeah. They got a bus. And they drove it from Seattle all the way into Vancouver. Now that's dedication. Well, we've learned for our 3 years now of being involved in PHL, we have learned that women sports fans will travel anywhere and everywhere. Yeah. As we all know, there isn't that many opportunities for you to see this in your own city. Yeah. And that's why the Taylor Tour gets so high attendance, because a lot of people are using this as their one big opportunity to come and see this league, because they might not be able to afford to make those regular trips out to the various markets. Yeah. So, you know, that's why these tours, the Taylor Tour is so huge. It's so important to the fabric of our league. Because, yeah. No, yeah, that is incredible. I heard that sounds like, that is incredible. Like, wow, that's dedication. That is dedication. And I think what's really great is how the league is really trying to push this rivalry, which is something that I know you've been moaning about in the NHL. Well, it's not existing in the NHL now, but the PHL, they're really trying to push it. We've got these two geographical rivals. Okay, let's not mess about. Let's get that rivalry fired up, because it could be really interesting to watch over the next few years as the PHL continues to grow further and we get more teams coming. Yeah, this could be the rivalry to watch. Yeah, could you imagine? Right, now I don't think it'll happen this year, but could you imagine if in the World Cup playoffs, Oh my god, if we got the Goldeneyes the Torrent in a playoff series, could you imagine what that would do? Oh, it'd be like if we got the Sectors and the Charge in a series. That would be like, yeah, which we needed, but of course we had. But yeah, but what an emotional night though. Not just for Vancouver and for Seattle, but also for me. I know, right? Because what was interesting about opening night, of course, we were all wondering, were you going to be able to fight back the tears? Yeah, you brought it up. I know you brought it up during our World Cup celebrations. You brought up, right? Let's take bets. Is George going to cry at the banner ceremony? You brought it up. I know. No, you brought it up. I know. You brought it up. I know. You absolutely brought that up. Yeah. So, whose fault's that? Now, while you did the battle did well on, you didn't actually display it, but what was interesting, when we then moved to Vancouver and Seattle, now, I think it might have been during the anthems, you were starting to well up. I really thought Paris Goofy pointed out, are you crying? And then you two literally went, don't you dare. Yeah, you did! You two were like, don't you dare! You didn't cry at the banner, don't you dare! They're like, you've got to remember, guys, boys and girls, you've got to remember that my women's hockey journey, oh god, he's used the J word. My women's hockey journey began in 2010 when Vancouver hosted the Winter Olympics. Okay? Which for a lot of the players we have now in the league, so like Marie Philippe Glenn, Harry Knight, Coco Schofield, that was my first time seeing them. And probably for a lot, it was probably the start that those three were coming on the scene. Definitely was for Marie Philippe Glenn. Yep. So, that's where my women's hockey journey started. Now, back then, the only time I could see women's hockey was once every 4 years. I didn't know that there was a World Championships until we got involved with PWHL. Yeah, and like me, you always do keep follow those each year. No. We're working on it. No, you're not. Yes, we are. We are not having a repeat of this year when we get to Denmark. Oh yeah, because it's going to be the second tournament, it's going to be Europe, so easy for us to watch. Yeah, we're not having a repeat of Czechia in 2026. Very clear now. She's putting the foot down. She's putting the foot down on her husband. She's putting the foot down. Yeah, I didn't know that. So the only time before the PHL that I could see women's hockey was once every 4 years, and that for me was just not enough. Mm-hmm. So for me, the moment this team was announced, I knew I was in. I also knew I wanted to do more than just support a team, and I'm doing that. Yeah. As your advocate, I'm working on that every single day. Yeah. And I have been, these last 3 seasons, have been so thankful and lucky to have been a part of this. Not just as a cross supporter, but also as a PWHL advocate as a whole. And to have that is just... So to be able to now have this now on a night in, night out basis, a week in, week out regular thing, is just really special. So you have now stopped watching the NHL. Yes, because obviously we are recording this a few days after the opening night. You have not watched any NHL games since we got underway last week. Well, I did say, on the final 2 report, I did say that there could be a day when I stop focusing on the NHL and just fully concentrate on the PHL. And you know what, boys and girls? I think that day has come a lot sooner than I think it has. Yeah. So I think it's already arrived. I am still keen now on what the Sharks do. Also, anytime Brody posts a breakdown on YouTube, I'm watching that. But in terms of full games, you're right. I feel like that is me now done for the year. So going forward, I'm only going to have 4 weeks of Sharks hockey, and then it's ba-bum women's hockey. Because obviously, next year women's hockey will begin beginning of November for us. Yeah, because obviously we've got the World Championships will happen before the PWHL season. So for me, it's just going to remember that. Yeah, you're right. Because I was like on Sunday, I actually you know what? On Sunday when we were at Wicked, I forgot. No, sorry. When we were out at the disappointment that was Wicked for Good, I was about to say, you mean the first film? And part 2. So when I seen part 2 of Wicked, I forgot that I was actually playing Recent Paris Goodby's team there on the night! I forgot about that! I had to, that. And of course, I get alerts like I did when I got a Ben song, so I was learning my Wicked for Good, and then the squad's like, oh my gosh, he's shocking, he's playing tonight, I forgot about that! Oh, aren't I naughty? Yeah, so, do you think you'll watch the Turbans? No. No point. Plus, they might be on some more games, aren't they? Winter Classics are the second. I believe there's a game on, not for us, but there is another game for PWHL going on. So I'll probably watch that. Then the stadium series is literally the day before I go. I think the stadium series. I need to check with Pies because the stadium series is Peter's boss this year. I think that's 2 days before I go on Olympic break. When you go on Olympic, I go on Olympic break on the 3rd of February. I think the stadium like the 1st. Is it? Yeah. Check with Reese Pies if he afterwards because the Bruins are in that. So check with him on that. Yeah, so I'm pretty much now done with NHL coverage for the year, so that's me done. Yeah, so you gotta understand that Vancouver is where my women's hockey journey began with those Olympics 2010. And here we are now, 15 years later, we've now come full circle. And not only have I got a professional women's league to follow, but Vancouver's also got a professional team to now follow, now call their own. And probably outdraw the Canucks 100 to 1. 100 to 1. Yeah. 100 to 1. I know. I don't think this season we're going to see many empty seats with the Goldeneyes compared to what you have with the Canucks. I know, because we have... Because the last few seasons I've been noticing when the Sharks go to Vancouver, there are a lot of empty seats. There are a lot of empty seats. And you do see the atmosphere, the decimal levels go down a bit. Yeah. The beauty is that with the Kings have gone. Did we pay... I'm not sure we pay attention to that. Not really, because we've been, in a competitive mode the last couple of years. In the regular season, yes. Playoffs, not so much. Yeah, so this is a full circle moment for me, and yeah, I got teary. I'm not gonna lie. I was literally doing this, so I was like, because I could feel I was actually welling up inside. Because oh my god, this is a huge moment for me. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be a Goldeneyes or a Torrent fan, but this place, this Vancouver, this city, was where it began for me in terms of women's hockey. So maybe we need to add Vancouver to the list of cities to visit. And then it brings it ultimately full circle. Well, we've got to do the Uncle 6 first. Yeah. Yeah. Can I just ask you two, are you still keeping an eye on what's going on with your NHL team? Yeah. Right. Whereas you're just going silence. For me, the only time I'm going to probably notice what's going on with the Sharks is the day after each game when Brody puts the breakdowns up on YouTube. That's me how it's gonna work. Yeah. Because this is my focus. This is my priority. So leave me be. Leave me be with it. Bad is. This is just leave me be. Leave me be with it. No, us two, we are still keeping an eye going on with our Kings now. But more than what you are doing now with the Sharks. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Yeah. So, yes, that was a huge full circle moment for me. I really was weighing up on that, because just, it's special. And I'm sure a lot of people it's really special too. The game itself was very interesting. I mean, that rivalry kicked in pretty much for the word go, didn't it? I know, right? I mean, and it was a really interesting, high-scoring game. And I think maybe it shows that these two sides still haven't quite gelled yet. I mean, it's a short training camp, and it's not, and it is traditionally a short preseason. So for Vancouver Seattle fans, preseason's always short. Just that's what you just need to get used to going forward. Yeah, they might change the formats every now and then, but it's always seen as a very short thing. I'll be surprised if next year we even have a preseason, because obviously we've got World Championships from the 6th to the 16th of November in Denmark, and then literally after that you're gonna have to fling players straight in to probably a training camp and then ba-boom. So I would not be surprised if we start Thanksgiving weekend next year. I would not be surprised. Yeah. We did last year. We did last year. We did start on Thanksgiving weekend. I would not be surprised if we start on that again next year. Because it would be quite a quick turnaround from the end of the World Championships to... Yeah. Because you do need a training camp. Yeah. Why not do it September or October before the World Championships? And then you could do like a quick pre-season and then boom, go straight in. Yeah, but anyway, back to what I was saying. I just don't know if these two sides have really gelled properly yet. I think Seattle more than Vancouver. Oh, really? Yeah. I think Vancouver were great, but I feel Seattle, there were little kinks that I just felt like they need to work on. I feel Seattle's not really gelled properly yet, where Vancouver probably have. And if you're looking at me, who I think could be the better team of those two this year, who could go on and do well, would be Vancouver. Yeah, would be Vancouver. Yeah. Well, on paper, the Goldeneyes are a more stacked roster than the Torrent are. Yes, the Torrent did well in the expansion process too, but the Goldeneyes knew what they wanted to do, and they went for it. And they went for it. We are so lucky that we got Denise Vajova back. I know, right? We are so lucky, because she could have been a huge part of that team. We know that Sophie Jakes and Claire Thompson are going to be. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. So we are so lucky to have got her back. I know, right? At the expense of one of our draft picks. That was a bit of an interesting trade. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before, where you draft somebody and then just before the season begins you trade them away. I don't think I've seen that before. Yeah. Well, there's not very much you can use for assets, though, is there? Right now, no. So, yeah, welcome play. We're happy to have her back. Because she was going to be, like Jackson Claire Thompson, she's going to be a huge loss to our blue line. So the fact we got back, brilliant. But yeah, because it was so high scoring, and the first goals in franchise history, I feel like one of them was predictable, the other wasn't. I know, right? And both former Scepters. Both of them former Toronto Scepters players scoring the first goal for the franchise. Now, Seattle was an interesting one because given how you got Harry Knight, Alex Carpenter, Hannah Bilcutt on that team, you would have thought one of them was going to do it, and then nope, it's Julia Gosling of all players, who I believe only made her debut season last year. So, out of nowhere, gets that first goal, which is a bit of a, but I think that just shows that Seattle has got some scoring depth, which is what you're going to need if you want to see the team. Ask yourself, how did we win the World Cup? 2 times? It was our scoring depth. Particularly in Game 3 of last year's series, when Katie Knoll got the triple overtime winner against Alba, and she was our final pick. Yeah, she was so bad. She was a 7th rounder. She was our final pick in the 2024 draft, and she gets a game-winning goal in a World Cup Finals game, which gave us the opportunity to then clinch the cup on home ice, which we didn't get to do the first time. Yes. I think, Sarah, as we all agreed. Not surprised. And I did say during I did say I hope Toronto is watching this, and I hope it hurts. I hope it hurts, Toronto. Because you gave her away. You did dirty by Sarah Nurse not protecting her back in the summer. You did her dirty. Okay? You could have protected her easily over Darryl Watts. You know, I still think that was a bizarre selection to protect. And then here he is. She scores the first of a goal for the Goldeneyes on her soul. And let's blow up J-Lo! I know, right? That was such a bizarre song choice. And you and me were like, oh, I think we know this song. Yeah, you do. Yeah, we can't. It's one of those moments where you hear a song and you think, oh, I know this song from somewhere. Or it sounds like a song I might have heard, but it can't be that one, can it? It can't. Then I googled it, and I'm like, oh my goodness! It's the song by J-Lo! It's a very famous song. You know, I mean, it was all the rage back in its heyday. And it's the only J-Lo song you can get me to name. It's the only J-Lo song you can get me to name. Oh God! Yeah, she's another huge star back in the noughties. Yeah. Had a couple of episodes on Will and Grace. Yeah. And of course, her infamous marriage with Batman. Yeah, because recently J-Lo's been more in the news because of her rocky marriage with Ben Affleck, which really gripped the view, because a lot of them thought, this is going to be they're going to be together forever and ever, oh look, Sheila! They're like, oh, give me a break. They're both pushing old age. Right, I mean, they're both pushing their 40s, so that doesn't scream true to me. That clearly screams desperation. Well, at least Ben Affleck was a more convincing Batman than Robert Pattinson. Oh God, yeah. Well, I remember when he was cast as that Ben Affleck, not Robert Pattinson. I remember when Ben Affleck got cast as Batman, and I thought, ooh, it's an interesting choice given his age. But I thought, oh, it's probably one of those one-off castings because they were doing this big Batman v Superman film. Yeah. No, he did get a couple of films, and then he left of his own accord. And then that's when we got Edward Cullen. Yeah, which did not work. Isn't he going to get a second film? Yep. Oh God. Yeah, it just didn't work. Whereas I thought Ben Affleck was more convincing as Batman than Robert Pattinson was. Just unfortunately, Ben Affleck was the wrong side of his side of the millennium. Yeah. So obviously, if you're going to cast a role like that, you've got to have them be fit, sexy, but also have to be young. And unfortunately, Ben Affleck ticked all those boxes, but one, boys and girls. Yep. So, yeah, so, I mean, that's a little great goal song though, isn't it? I mean, what I think about these goal songs is they're not choosing songs that are just like, you know, that just grate on me easily. I just thought, that is so unbearable. A lot of the NHL goal songs I find really unbearable, but all the PHL songs have been great hitters so far. So, let's see what Seattle's going to bring on Friday. So, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but Sarah's getting that first goal for Vancouver. For Vancouver. I think we could have called that. Yeah. But no. But brilliant. And it goes to overtime. Yeah. So already, Vancouver gets treated to overtime pocket PHL. You were kind of figured this was going to be easy points for these two sides. So I remember when the schedule was out, you were slating this matchup because you felt it was an easy start in terms of getting points. I did. Because, I mean, I know the idea behind the expansion process was to make sure these two teams were competitive on day one. You did that, no problem. I, at the time, did not like the idea of these two teams going to be their first game because it meant that it was an easy guaranteed points for one of them. Yeah. But as we got closer to the match, I was like you two. I kind of about, well, actually, it's very good for the league. It's good in terms of marketing, and it's good for the opening night. And because when are we going to have the opportunity to have two expansion teams go head to head again? Yeah. Well, it depends on where the next round will go. Because if in the next round you have two markets close to one another, you could do that again. But was it? Yeah, no. It was just a brilliant. The league got opening night right with its games. You have the World Cup champions raise their second banner. Not that the league really cared about that. And then you had two both teams go head to head in Vancouver in the first ever primary venue for a PHL team. I don't think you could have marked that better. I generally don't. I generally don't think you could have marked that any better. That was textbook genius. That's how you mark. That is how you market an opening night. That's how you schedule an opening night. Yeah, brilliant work. And it's supposed amazing to see them now both. Nice. Plur, wasn't it you that said about Harry Knight? You did. I did. You did. Yeah. Well, when obviously when Harry Knight and Ashton Bell. Oh, of course, yes. Went to do the pop shot. I said, "Oh my god, it's so weird seeing Harry Knight in a Seattle jersey." You did. You did. And you know what? I think it looks even more weird because Seattle's road jerseys look very similar to the Fleets. Oh! I'm calling it out. I know we've had the hoo-ha the last week about how similar were both the Torrent and Fleet's colours going to be. The home jerseys, it's not really dissimilar now because Boston's gone for a forest green and Seattle's gone for a slate green. Terry, do you reckon that's Sponsor or slate? But I do think that Boston and Seattle's road jerseys do now look very, very similar to one another. The only difference is that Boston's roads is a base colour of white, Seattle's is a cream. And speaking of the cream jerseys for Seattle, I don't think they were as in your face as Montreal's were. Because I remember this time last year when we saw the Big 12's cream jerseys the first time, we were all like, my eyes! Oh my god! Where's the sunglasses? Oh, these sunglasses! Oh! And then, can someone go get me a cream tea? I fancy a custard cream. A cream latte! Cream latte! You're not allowed those anymore, sugar tax. Oh! Back off! Just been announced today. They're now targeting milkshakes and lattes, so you two can't have your lattes anymore. How's that got sugar? Well, I think milk drinks have had debates by no, not that, coffee. Oh yeah, because wouldn't that only count if you then pour sugar into it? Yeah, do people actually do that? What, pour sugar into coffee? Yes. I thought it was just tea. No, they do it with coffee as well. If I was ever going to drink a coffee, the only thing I would add to it is what you just said. I would just add some cream. Right, we need to get you drinking a cream latte. Cream latte for you. You to have that. You to get that down your throat. I don't think Starbucks sell it. We'll make it. Yeah. But they're now being asked onto the sugar tax. Who wants to bet that my hot chocolate gets added next? Well, aren't we already not allowed refills? No. How is the government going to know if George has gone up to get a second Diet Coke or a second hot chocolate? How do they know that? It's not Big Brother. Well, not yet anyway. Well, I don't think Big Brother is good either, because Holly and Coco still got their coffee stash. I know, right? And Big Brother knows they've got it. They're not playing it out to the rest of the house guys. It's like, come on. Sorry, that's in Australia, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Great season, Australia. Well done, guys. You know how to do Big Brother. Better than us. And we got before the Australians. Yep. There you go. But Seattle's cream jerseys weren't as glaring as I thought they were going to be. So we'll see about that with Vancouver. Because I think their first road game is Ottawa, I believe? Yes! Yeah, so we'll find out at TG Place if Vancouver's cream jerseys are decent, or is it going to be as blurry? So I think Montreal might need to go back to the drawing board, because that is... Oh yeah, here we go, take the pic. Oh. Come on. Sorry. I find Sarah Lewis had a big 4 back in season 1. Yeah. They probably thought, we've got this unique colour scheme, no one's giving out to copy it, and then what happens in April? The PWHL gets 2 new expansion teams, and they both announced they're going to have cream in their colour schemes. Well, clearly, cream's the new white. Cream is the new white. I mean, and I should know, because obviously cream is a colour scheme that does get used in baseball, but it's never a good idea, because it always then looks like piss and wee. It always does look like that Bryce Harper's just gone and pissed himself. It's not pleasant. So, yeah, so, sorry Montreal, but cream's now the new white. So, don't come cry to us over spilt cream, because we're not gonna... What was that? Sorry. Hold on, one sec, what? Was that a euphemism? Let's be used there, boys and girls. So Seattle's road jerseys I didn't think were too blaring. We'll see about Vancouver. Vancouver's jerseys look quite nice. I'm just not sold on the band. The orange band. That was supposed to be that big clue of what their name is going to be, which none of us got. And that needs to go. That needs to go. That does need to go. Or just do gold on the shoulder. Yeah, so here. Seattle don't have their home jerseys, don't they? Oh, they don't! No! They don't. Oh! You're right. Seattle don't have this on the home jerseys. Seattle's gone for a full base colour. Yeah. Which is like traditional AHL style. They've gone, yeah! That's probably need to remind us, obviously, because we are their home opener on Black Friday. Yeah! Start sport product. Yeah! Oh, yeah! So, we'll see how that goes. But Vancouver, their home jerseys look quite nice too. Just the orange band that's on the sleeve, I think that needs to go. Or make it gold. Yeah. Because it doesn't look gold. No. It's more of an orange or a brown. It just looks horrible. It looks like a stain. Oh yeah. It looks like a McDonald's stain. It really does. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. No. I do see where you're coming from there, boy. Yeah, I know it's not pretty. Anyway. Yeah. Was there a really exciting game to watch though? Yeah. Like Kenzie kept saying on the broadcast, it was one of those moments of where were you when this happened? Yeah. Watched it at our sofas at home at about 3 AM in the morning. Coming over from having had another bar ceremony get scuppered. I know. It's the banner curse! Banner curse! We need to stop raising banners. Oh no, let's not stop raising banners, but let's just, can we not make them our opening night? That's 2 years in a row now we've had our opening night be our banner ceremony and they've both been scuppered by our opponents. Last year was Steph Fillier, this year was Reagan Kirk. So, yeah, no, of course we want more banners raised at Grand Casino of the Frost. It's just, can we just maybe try harder to win the game that happens after it? We've already covered that, so don't worry. Yeah, what a huge moment. And Vancouver did really well. They sold out. They sold out. So brilliant work. And I do think Vancouver, in terms of tickets, might be like what Toronto was in year one. Because in year one, Toronto, they sold those tickets like hotcakes. It was really hard to get to a Scepter's home game in year one. I think we're going to see that with the Goldeneyes this year. I think if you are in Vancouver, the Vancouver area, if you know you want to go to a game, you've got to get in while you can, because I've been these tickets are still like hotcakes. Yes, with a 50,000 seater, but those tickets will go quicker than you think. Yeah, so I think the Goldeneyes are going to be really successful in Vancouver. Vancouver's done everything right so far. Yeah. So I would not be surprised if the Goldeneyes within the next 5 years get a World Cup. Oh, they are so destined to be a World Cup champion. Yeah. Is it this year? I don't know. Or if it's not this year, it will be in either a year or two's time. Yep. Yeah. But I think if we look at who's going to get a World Cup of those two first, it's going to be Vancouver. Sorry, see, I know you got Harry Knight, but that alone, as Boston's discovered, that's not enough to win. Nope. Yeah. So it's interesting how Seattle does with their home opener. How do we think that's gonna go with Seattle, the opener? Well, I've been hearing great things about ticket sales. I do, and I have had now start opening up the upper bowl. They're now selling those tickets. Okay, so we are pretty much going to be on course for a good night there. Will it be a record break? I don't know. Well, look, the current record for the US is 14,288. So they just need to get 14,300 and something. They've broken it. Yeah. So, yeah. Plus, it's not going to be every opportunity you're going to have your home opener to be against the World Cup champions. I know. Brilliant, isn't it, for Seattle? Particularly how some people might look at the temperature and thought, oh, why are you playing a team there? They're about 12,000 people. That could be really good. This could be a really good opportunity for Seattle to show that actually, we do care. Yeah. We do want this, and here we are. Yeah. But you got to remember that Clyde Arena holds 17,000 for hockey, so technically 12,000 is 95% capacity. So, yeah, don't go there. Yeah, don't go there. Just do not go there. Oh, no. Yeah. So the expansion era has officially begun. It's so exciting. It's still crazy to believe that's happened. It's just still like, here we are now, year 3. We've got expansion, 2 new teams, and before you know it, there'll be another 2 or potentially 4 on the mix. On that space point of YouTube, what would you like this next round? Do you want this next round to be 2 or 4 teams? Because I could easily make a case for either, and it would be fine. So, I would just like have either of you got an answer? If you've got an answer, you go. Okay, go plug. I would like the next one to be the 4 teams, because we know the league wants to get to 12. No, we know they want to get to 12. So, and with the markets there, the interest is there. Why not just do 4 now, and then you can look at expanding the schedule. The things that you would need to do later on, you can just get sorted out now. And then obviously 12, you can then look at something. Well, do we then need to still be aggressive with expansion, or do we not? Yeah, it depends on the markets. I've been saying over the summer that maybe when you get to 12, that's when you can then sort of stagger it out and not have to then always look at every thing. Oh, we expand it again. But a 12 team league would be decent if it was somewhere in Europe. Yeah. But for North America, that's probably still child's play. So the league could easily get to 12, which is what they want to do before the CBA runs out. They might then think, well, actually, no, that's not enough. Let's go again and get to maybe 16. Yeah. The league will know when the right number is hit to then start staggering these expansions. But right now, we're very much in expand rapid. So like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Which I'm all fine for. Yeah. I have no problem with the PHL being aggressive expansion, because I know the interest is there. Yeah. If the interest wasn't there from various markets, I would say, what are you doing? Just stick with these 8, build your product further, get a development system up and running, yeah. And then you can go again. But because I know the interest is there from various markets, I'm happy for the league to be like, go aggressive, yeah. Because strike while the iron's hot. Yeah. Going while you can. Yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to wait 10, 15 years and then find out these markets have been saturated. You just want to get in now while you can, particularly when the markets are going to work. Yeah. So because it could easily be by the time we get to the end of this season, it could be like we were last year, and they say, right, here's our new teams. Yeah. It could happen. Yeah. Could happen. Yeah. So we just don't know. We just do not know. Yeah. So I just want to get. Yeah. I honestly don't know what the right thing is now. I honestly don't, because I could easily make a case for it just being 2 teams, but I could also make the case for it being 4 teams. I just don't. For me, I just don't know what the right thing is. Well, if it's just 2 teams, we know who we would want to put in. There you go. But if it's 4, it's then a big question mark of, right, well, who would the other 2 be? And would it be US Canada, or would it be 2 Canada, or would it then be 3 Canada, 1 US, or could it be 3 US, 1 Canada? You get me? Yeah, we do. Yeah. But it's great to see the expansion up and running. The only problem is, of course, they haven't got the logo on the jersey. I knew she was going to end with that. I knew. Well, and then I mentioned about, because when I seen these logos, when I seen it on the graphics, when I seen it on the marketing, and everything, and the Goldeneyes one just looks so amazing. Every time I see that now on a PHL broadcast, I'm like, oh my god, wow! Because, it's exactly the reaction that you 2 had on the launch night, on the rebuild, on the build day. You just like, Do you know what that sounds like on the podcast, B? Oh, sorry! But you 2 were! Yeah, you 2 were! You were just like drooling all over that. And I was like, oh my god. And I can see why. The Goldeneyes is so menacing. I love that. Seattle's, I still need a bit more time. But that's fine, because that's what this is about for the 2 teams and their logos. This is your opportunity to get used to them. And then next year when they go on the jersey, you're like, it looks absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll see. I just want to see the Goldeneyes look on the jersey. I know you do. Oh. He's doing it! You're drooling again now! Just hurry up and buy all the team's jerseys, George. You know you want to do it. You know you want to do it. So just... Yeah, okay. Yeah. But obviously Seattle's both cancel next year. That's fine, because we don't need to worry, because we don't need to worry about Dreamland if one of them wins until the 27th. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So the expansion has begun. Just so amazing, and we are really looking forward to see what both the Seattle Torrent and the Vancouver Goldeneyes are going to get up to during their inaugural season this year. It's so exciting to have them on board. Still can't believe the expansion has begun, but it has, and it's only just got started.